Well, the House Ethics Committee today released a report unlike any in the history of the House Ethics Committee. The Ethics Committee unanimously believes that former Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz raped a 17-year-old girl in Florida. The committee, quote, found substantial evidence of that rape. That victim is named in the Ethics Committee report as Victim A. As reported previously on this program by an attorney for a teenager who was paid to have sex with Matt Gaetz, that teenager witnessed Matt Gaetz having sex with the 17-year-old minutes after Matt Gaetz entered a party and immediately upon meeting the 17-year-old. The committee report says the committee received testimony that Victim A and Representative Gaetz had sex twice during the party, including at least once in the presence of other party attendees. Victim A recalled receiving $400 in cash from Representative Gaetz that evening, which she understood to be payment for sex. At the time, she had just completed her junior year of high school. Victim A acknowledged that she was under the influence of ecstasy during her sexual encounters with Representative Gaetz at the July 15th, 2017 party, and recalled seeing Representative Gaetz use cocaine at that party. Last month, Elon Musk was part of a group on Donald Trump's plane who convinced Donald Trump to choose Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General of the United States of America. In that passage of the Ethics Committee report, Matt Gaetz is described as committing state and federal crimes, the state and federal crime of using cocaine, the state crime of rape of a 17-year-old girl in a state where the age of consent is 18. And Elon Musk said, Gaetz will be our hammer of justice. Elon Musk wanted the first man in the history of the House of Representatives described as a rapist in a House Ethics Committee report to be the Attorney General of the United States of America. When Donald Trump made the most inappropriate choice of Attorney General in history, Donald Trump said Matt Gaetz, quote, distinguished himself in Congress. Well, he certainly did. He is the only member of Congress in history to have been unanimously adjudged by the House Ethics Committee, which includes 5 Republicans and 5 Democrats, to have, quote, violated House rules, state and federal laws, and other standards of conduct prohibiting prostitution, statutory rape, illicit drug use, acceptance of impermissible gifts, the provision of special favors and privileges, and obstruction of Congress. Matt Gaetz obstructed this House investigation in every way that he possibly could, which is one of the reasons the investigation took as long as it did. When Matt Gaetz resigned from Congress, he believed that that tactic of resignation would prevent this report from ever becoming public. And the Republican Speaker of the House, who presents himself as the most pious Christian who has ever served in that position, did everything he possibly could to suppress this report about Matt Gaetz and prostitution, statutory rape, illicit drug use. Speaker Mike Johnson didn't want you to know about any of that.
When it comes to the floor and it's a vote before the body, they will hear my preference on it. My recommendation is to vote against the release. And so we'll see how that shakes out.
That's when Speaker Mike Johnson got every Republican in the House, except for one, to vote to suppress this report so that you could never see it. Speaker Mike Johnson and Donald Trump and Elon Musk did not want you to know that there was a House Ethics Committee report already written that says, quote, Representative Gaetz used or possessed illegal drugs, including cocaine and ecstasy, on multiple occasions. Speaker Mike Johnson and Donald Trump and Elon Musk did not want you to know that there was a House Ethics Committee report already written that says, quote, Representative Gaetz engaged in sexual activity with a 17-year-old girl. They wanted him to be the Attorney General of the United States. The House Ethics Committee report is as much a report on Donald Trump as it is on Matt Gaetz. The House Ethics Committee report represents the indisputable proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump has the worst moral and professional judgment in the history of the presidency for staffing the federal government. Donald Trump wanted an attorney general who committed rape in Florida, according to the House Ethics Committee. Donald Trump wanted an attorney general enforcing laws against the use of cocaine in this country who was a cocaine user himself, according to the House Ethics Committee. Not every member of the House Ethics Committee agreed that this report should be released after Matt Gaetz resigned from Congress, but a majority of them did finally agree to release the report, which means that at least one, possibly more than one, Republican on the committee voted to release the report. Every Republican on the committee agrees with every word of the findings in the report. That's the important part of this. All 5 Republicans on the House Ethics Committee agree with every finding, every accusation made about Matt Gaetz in this report. The committee asked Matt Gaetz to provide them any evidence that could possibly convince them that he did not do what witnesses accused him of doing in this investigation. And he provided no evidence at all, none, to the committee to change their minds and even attempt to change their minds about what they were finding. The committee's report notes, under Florida's statutory rape law, it is a felony for a person 24 years of age or older to engage in sexual activity with a 16 or 17-year-old. A person charged with this offense may not claim ignorance or misrepresentation of the minor's age as a defense, period. There is no criminal defense for Matt Gaetz having sex with a 17-year-old girl in the state of Florida. The 17-year-old girl told the committee that she did not discuss her age with Matt Gaetz. The committee found that Matt Gaetz attended sex and drug parties with Joel Greenberg, who the committee reports, quote, pleaded guilty to 6 charges, including sex trafficking of victim A. Sex trafficking of that 17-year-old girl. So Matt Gaetz's former best friend and frequent group sex partner, Joel Greenberg, is in prison tonight because of what he did to victim A. And Donald Trump wanted Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General of the United States of America after what he did to victim A, according to the House Ethics Committee report. Elon Musk wanted Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General of the United States after raping victim A, according to the House Ethics Committee report. One of the women, young girls really, who Matt Gaetz paid for sex, told the committee under oath, quote, it's frustrating to know I lived a reality that he denies. There has been some sloppy reporting today about exactly what Matt Gaetz denies. In fact, and this is really important, Matt Gaetz has not denied today a single factual assertion in the Ethics Committee report released today. In the past, Matt Gaetz has issued blanket denials, but we didn't really know what those denials were about, just blanket denials. And those blanket denials should no longer be applied to the Ethics Committee report by anyone in the news business. The Ethics Committee report is specific with specific incidents. Matt Gaetz did not deny today, after this report came out, that he used cocaine. Matt Gaetz did not deny today, after this report came out, that he raped victim A. He did not deny that today, now that we have the facts. Matt Gaetz is not contesting, as of tonight, a single fact in this Ethics Committee report. Not one. He has tried to suggest that you can't rely on the testimony of people who are taking drugs. Today, Matt Gaetz posted this deflection, saying, I'm accused of being at some party 5 years ago. Here's the gate log for that home in a community that checks DLs for entrance. I'm not on the log. The other attendees are, but people who said they were on drugs say they remember me there. Do they also remember seeing Jimmy Hoffa there and Tupac? Here's what that post does not say, and this is important. He's trying to trick you with that. That post does not say, I was not there. He could have said that, but he didn't. And then Matt Gaetz wants us to doubt the memories of people who were on drugs, which, according to the Ethics Committee report, includes Matt Gaetz. In fact, Matt Gaetz, as of now, is the single biggest drug user in the House of Representatives in history, according to the House Ethics Committee. The biggest drug user the House Ethics Committee has ever investigated is Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, an out-of-control criminal drug user, according to the House Ethics Committee report, wants you to doubt the memories of girls who he says, who say that he paid for sex while he was taking drugs with them. Denying specific allegations in the Ethics Committee report is something Matt Gaetz has decided not to do today. The report says the record overwhelmingly suggests that Representative Gaetz had sex with multiple women at the party, including the then 17-year-old, for which they were paid. Victim A acknowledged that she was under the influence of ecstasy during her sexual encounters with Representative Gaetz at the July 15, 2017 party, and recalled seeing Representative Gaetz use cocaine at that party. Victim A told the committee she was certain of her sexual encounters with Representative Gaetz on that night. The Ethics Committee report describes Matt Gaetz' written answer to the committee about the question of having sex with Victim A this way. Representative Gaetz generally denied engaging in sexual activity with a minor, but refused to answer specific questions relating to his interactions with Victim A. Refused to answer specific questions relating to his interactions with Victim A. I wonder why. Matt Gaetz refused to testify to the House Ethics Committee. Matt Gaetz defied a subpoena to testify to the House Ethics Committee. Innocent members of the House and Senate are very eager to testify when they are subjected to Ethics Committee investigations. They do not defy subpoenas to testify. The Ethics Committee obtained under oath testimony against Matt Gaetz, and Matt Gaetz has refused to answer any specific questions about any of that under oath testimony about him. Matt Gaetz was the first big loss after the election of Donald Trump, after the election for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. He was their first big loss. But the 5 Republican members of the House Ethics Committee and the 5 Democratic members of the House Ethics Committee conducted a thorough investigation that saved this country from having to endure Matt Gaetz as Attorney General of the United States. When Republican members of the United States Senate, some of them, a few of them, made it clear that they wanted to see the House Ethics Committee report before voting on Matt Gaetz' confirmation, Matt Gaetz' confirmation did not have a chance. And so Donald Trump had to drop the Matt Gaetz nomination. Because even without the House report being made public, everyone knew. Every Republican in the House of Representatives, including Speaker Mike Johnson, knew how bad Matt Gaetz was. And they knew how bad that report was going to be. And as bad as any of you might have thought Matt Gaetz was, today's Ethics Committee report and Victim A proved to you Matt Gaetz is even worse than that.